Cena. Casey Thompson is the host. No, I'm the host, actually. I guide the conversation. I steer Casey in the directions with which we go here on the In Ring Wrestling Podcast. Hi, everybody. What are you doing, Casey?
There's stuff that popped up all over my screen.
I'm going to
So
sit close
I'm
like
just
this,
double
too.
checking. Yeah.
It
Oh, he
said,
wants me to freeze up some space.
yeah,
Apparently, I don't have a lot. Am I still here?
yeah,
You can still see me?
you look great.
Okay, because I don't know what I did.
You color your
Oh,
beard?
okay. Kayfabe about that.
Hey, listen, you're looking a little like
You
Kris
know, my
Kringle
girl.
in the early stages of Santa Claus is coming to town.
You know what's crazy? I can't see anything. Hold on, let me go back to another
Put
screen.
one foot
There we
front
go.
of
All
the
right.
other. It's a professional podcast, ladies and
Welcome. Oh,
gentlemen.
yeah.
That's
Don't
right.
don't mind me at all.
This is going to be fantastic when we do it live. No, it's another Sunday, which means we're live once again here with the In Ring Wrestling Podcast. Hi, everybody. Kevin Kelly here, and that's Casey Thompson over to my side. He of course, the raconteur, the collector, the gadfly, the man about town, the man that knows it all. And look at him sitting there looking
Oh my
resplendent
gosh.
in front of his
I
championship belt.
changed my setup a little. I had my monitor used to be like a 53 inch or 45, 55-inch TV, but it was getting glares, so it was driving me crazy. I switched to a small external monitor, and I can't read the stuff on the screen. So
Oh,
something just popped up saying that picture and Okay, I know what it did. There we go.
that was
I'm
tremendous.
good now. All right, we can start with the show. Sorry.
All right, let's start with the show. Hey,
Yes.
I don't know if you heard about this, Casey, or if the folks tuning in from all over the world heard about this, but apparently last night, John Cena wrestled his last match of his career.
Who?
Yeah, right. And anyway, I was surprised at, well, first of all, give me your overall thoughts. Let's just kind of like start with was this something that you sensed because you'll always be in the business, right? Once you're in the
Right.
business, you're always in the business. You're always involved,
It's like
you're
the
always around.
mob.
Yeah.
Right.
But you probably have a firmer grasp on what the people outside the business think, right?
Right.
Did you get a sense that people like the average Joe and Jane that they know who John Cena was and that he was retiring last night?
Um, no, I don't think it was as big as other retirements.
Right.
Although
I
they did
sensed
stretch it out for a year, but I think it was kind of in the wrestling community.
right.
Because I think John Cena is not a household name compared to like other greats like Hulk Hogan, even Ric Flair,
Yep.
um, The Rock. I think he's very close, breaking into Hollywood. He's had a few good movies, some everyone has bad ones as par for the course, paying your
Yeah.
dues, I guess, in Hollywood, just like you do in the wrestling business. But
That's right.
I except you're getting paid a lot more, not
Yeah.
taking any bumps.
Go out and
But
work
hey,
with Gypsy Joe, kid. Oh, no.
uh I think I think he's almost there, but I don't think he was quite there yet.
Right.
But not to take away anything from him by any means, because I think he was a tremendous asset to professional wrestling and WWE, and I think he will be truly missed, in the realm of the wrestling world.
Right. I think, to fully state his impact, of course, there is the charity work, the Make-A-Wish work that he did
Right,
was tireless. Didn't
yeah,
need to be thanked for it, but happens to own the world record of having done more Make-A-Wish
right,
wishes than anyone else. um, is a special guy for anybody
Right.
who's ever known him, ever met him, ever worked with him. I had the pleasure of working with him when he was in OVW, and he was
Oh,
just
okay.
awesome, and apparently was always the same awesome, never really
Well,
changed.
I think he probably will go down as the greatest wrestler to meet outside of the wrestling bubble. You meet him
That's a
out the airport, anywhere else, I think he's
yeah,
probably the number one on everyone's list. The best experience ever was, "Oh, I met John Cena, it was incredible."
right.
I think he's like that.
I think that's okay. That's where he is the top of the list.
Right.
Agreed.
Right.
Um, I was I was a little surprised. I think I misjudged John Cena's popularity to the casual fan. Um, I was surprised at the lack of reaction, crossover media, that type of thing. Um,
Right.
but that's because I misjudged it. But I think you said it exactly right. Hogan, Ric Flair, The Rock, Stone Cold, those guys, they transcended the business, and that's your top four.
Right.
If you want to tell me John Cena is top 5 or top 10, I can't argue with you. Um,
But John Cena also carried the business on his back like no
for
one else did. Like Stone Cold did for a while,
yep,
bringing it to where it went to, you know, publicly traded company. But after he was gone, The Rock was gone. All there was really the big star was John Cena, and that has to do with all of his Make a Wish and everything he did. He did for WWE
right.
to carry to carry the burden of the business on his back, and I think he's number one with that. I
Yeah.
believe.
So when you look at finishing a guy up, and you've done this before, we're going to go in a different direction. We're moving on. We've got to get other guys over. We've got to, or the talent says, I'm moving away. I'm going to go do other things. I'm going to go work for a different company, different territory. Okay, that's fine.
Right.
They that guy doesn't win his last match.
Mhm.
You put somebody over on the way out.
Sure.
You'd have thought that they got the family members and shot them the way people reacted to John Cena losing his last match. I guess it just means they're marks and they get hot about these types of things. I was
Well,
surprised
yeah,
anybody was surprised.
yeah. And if anyone knows John Cena, you see he took Dominic Mysterio, and I'm sure he handpicked him to work to try to elevate him because that's all about,
Yeah,
passing the torch. And
right.
that's exactly what he was doing. When he did, was it Brock Lesnar? He did like a minute squash match,
Yeah,
squash. He's given back to the business. I mean, he's setting the presidents for everyone, from now until whenever, what it's like to not be selfish, be able to show you that you can still be over and still lose the match. I mean, no one knows that better than I do. You know, hell, you know,
yeah.
I've only won one time on TV, I think, on national
And that was
TV.
again, that was Abdullah the Butcher, right?
That's right. I beat him. The hand was raised. Nick Patrick raised the hand. Thanks, Nick.
Attaboy, Nick. Yeah, I mean, I get it, but I don't get it, and I didn't get a chance to watch the show because I got to get up early. But that's the way life is. Did you watch
Right.
it?
Um, no, not
No,
yet.
not
I had
no.
to get up
Right?
early too.
Yes.
I
um,
just finished a 77-hour work week just about an hour or so ago. So,
Congratulations.
well, next week, hopefully.
Oh, please, anytime soon. Um, yeah, I really didn't have. First of all, I couldn't have told you anything else that was going to be on the show. And if
Right.
I knew that John Cena's match was first, I probably would stay up and watched it. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah. Um, that said, they did a hell of a job, I think, preparing the audience and doing the great production work that WWE is known for. That hasn't changed
And,
one bit.
oh yeah, and the whole what a whole year tour of
Yeah.
you know how much every place he was at they had merchandise made for John Cena's last Raw ever, John Cena's last PLE ever, John Cena's last this that. I mean, they must have made a boatload off of just merchandising,
Sure.
you know. And that's I think that's funny is that all these people are. I saw some people like really healing on um, Nick Khan because he's like, I don't care if people don't like me. This is a business.
Right.
And there's one guy that you're friends with, and he hates WWE with a passion because he thinks they're you boy Evan Ginsberg
Oh,
on Facebook, he just trashes them, so trashes Triple H so bad and hates it. But meanwhile, he posts about it all the time, so it means he's
sure.
watching the product. So you know what? In the end, Evan, WWE won because it's just like Howard Stern. He had more people that watch him that hated him than people that were actually fans.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, they're getting what they want. But first of all, it is a business. So you know, in the end, that's the bottom line is dollars and cents. So they're pricing their tickets, out of the, where normal families can't go. Do I have a problem with it? I don't really care because I don't go,
Right.
and I'm not taking any of my family members. So um, it doesn't affect me one way or another. I think it's great because being on the other side of the spectrum, one of the boys, because I think it's better for the boys. 'Cause I think the boys are probably making more money now than they used to. So
Sure.
I have no problem with it.
I
Anyhow,
100% agree with you. Friends of mine that go to a Raw event a year, a SmackDown or a PLE or whatever it might be, they go once.
right? Yeah.
And they do the big thing. When it was WrestleMania, they did the big thing. They had a great time. I never heard anybody cry about the price. And
Yeah.
you don't think they gave away those shirts, do you? Those John Cena last time in Tampa, the last Raw? No, they sold for top
Oh,
dollar, and people bought them.
yeah, probably $48 a piece,
Sure,
something like that. 40,
and
$60 at the show.
people bought
$60
them.
for a t-shirt.
Ah, so you
Crazy,
go and you
isn't it?
buy it. You
Yeah.
go to you go to concerts, you buy the shirt, and if you don't buy the shirt, you
Yeah.
can't cry about the price. So
Right.
anyway, all right.
There
But
you
the
go.
main thing that I wanted to talk with you about, because we could here or there, or whatever, it doesn't matter. People's opinion about John Cena losing his last match to Gunther. Um, that's the right way to do business. And there
Sure.
isn't another general manager, owner, whatever in sports who gets cheered when he comes onto the field and they're going to boo Triple H because he's the office now, whatever. But I wanted to get your opinion because everybody is like smoochy on John Cena. And I wonder, is he as good as everybody remembers? Is he overrated? What do you think?
um, are we talking wrestling ability
Yes. Let's start
or
with that.
his I think his wrestling ability is basic. He
Mhm.
doesn't do anything special, but the biggest stars ever in the business, Hulk Hogan, never did anything special. Hogan wasn't a great worker. You know, The
Right.
Rock was not a great worker.
Hmm.
Stone Cold was not a great worker.
Mhm.
They're good, but that's not what made them great. And John Cena falls in that category too. I mean, he
Hmm.
was he was a good worker. He wasn't a great worker. He wasn't a uh, Shawn Michaels. As much as I can't stand, and maybe Shawn Michaels of today is better than the asshole used to be back then. So I don't know until I experienced that myself, shall we
Right.
say? But
Taking the personality out of it, you got to give Shawn Michaels his due.
oh, absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely, he was great.
So, okay. the way I always saw John is he I had seen him in OVW and he always looked better in that ring and didn't have like the best footwork ever.
Yeah.
But
But he had
made
that
it
it factor.
he did.
And that's part of, that's just being your workability is only one part of it.
Okay.
You got to have your presence, you're be able to talk on the stick. And so when you start checking all those boxes, that's what makes him a great worker, I think. Because
Okay.
there's so many he's the top of all those other boxes that him being a good worker, not a great worker, just a good worker, just like Hogan, Stone Cold, The Rock. Those are all great wrestlers, and that's how John Cena is.
Mhm. It's
Which I think they're smart too.
right. Now, Austin used to be much flashier
Yeah,
and did much more in WCW
yeah. When I
and
wrestled them,
and yeah, and wasn't
yeah.
over. Well, I
No,
mean, was, but not over like he got.
not top level, not the
Yeah.
headliner, not making the big money. But you know what? Sometimes you have to, there's an old saying that all these old timers will tell you, and none of these young kids ever understand. Less is better. It
Right.
takes them forever to realize exactly what that truly means.
Does that cross now? School is in session here, kids, with Professor Casey tonight. Okay,
Oh, there you
because
go.
I want you to explain and explain it to me as well. If you do, so let's say you're mildly over. Okay,
Hmm.
if you start doing less in your matches, will you get more over?
Well, I think it's
Or the flip side,
okay.
if you're mildly over and you start doing more in your matches, will you get less over?
I think you have to find that fine line that's perfect for you as a individual. So Austin did a lot more, but then when he reeled it back in, he was more selective on its bumps and not doing anything off the top rope anymore, different things like that. But that started making it where he started, talking on the stick better.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what's starting to get him over. So when he did something, took something big, it meant more than if he did it in the middle of a series of 10 things.
Right. I can't remember anybody ever saying, wow, Stone Cold used to really do a lot of stuff in WCW and I liked him better. Everybody said, oh, he was
Mhm.
good, but
Yeah.
now, oh, he's awesome. And you're right, he never went
Well,
off the
I'll
top
give you
rope. He
I'll
never,
give you an example. Probably one of the best matches, one of the best workers ever in the ring
mm-hmm,
would be Ricky the Dragon Steamboat.
sure.
He's had incredible matches with Rick Rude, with um, Macho Man Randy Savage, with Flair, different guys like even with Steve Austin, right?
Mm-hmm,
But do you ever hear people say that Ricky the Dragon Steamboat is one of the greatest ever? Big greatest performers ever?
no,
No. I mean, and I'm sure he's fine with that because he's great, but he didn't check all those boxes like these other guys
no.
did. He didn't talk on the stick as well as Hogan. Hogan, and I think that just tells you the importance of what is important in wrestling. Is it more
Mm-hmm,
important to be able to do every wrestling move in the world and go 100 miles an hour? Or is it better to, you know what, I can get through a match where it's believable, it looks good, but I can talk on the stick,
right.
you know? It's a whole, it's a whole, for me, it's a whole 20 some years of wrestling Now
Right.
looking from the outside in and seeing what is more important than, you give it's a give and take. What's more important? Is it more important to be able to do everything or be able to do this?
Okay,
You
so
know?
when you were in your enhancement role, you were
Yeah.
doing everything that you could to get yourself over at the same time as getting the wrestler you were in the ring with over.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Um, when you worked independent shows, did you still have that same mindset? Were you trying to get yourself over with the spectacular?
No, the mindset is totally different because you're always trying to make your opponent look good and this
Right.
and that when you're in a match. But when you're, say, the top guy, you're the over guy, you're more concerned about getting yourself over. You want everything to be over, but the importance is more on me than it is on him. When I'm doing enhancement work, yeah, I want to look good as possible, but my main objective, they're paying me to make him look like $1 million.
Mhm.
You know, you look at Buff Bagwell, you had like Renegade, you had guys like that when they first started. You know, the agents would say, "Please, please go out there and make them look good." They would beg you, "Go make them look good, please." You know,
Mhm.
because yeah, they look good and all that. They had one of the boxes checked, but none of the rest of them, and one of them was they couldn't work. So
Right.
they would say, "Please, slow them down, make them." It's like thinking like you're kind of dumbfounded. Okay, whatever. It's like I can't tell how many times I thought about just like saying, you know what, just screw this. I'm taking over the match, and this is going to kill the guy because he hit. They allow it to happen because you're not smart enough to realize to stop it. You know, it's
True.
just until it's a certain time in the business where the light bulb goes off and it's like, oh shit, you know.
Mhm.
And a lot of people listening might not understand what I'm saying, but the people who are listening that are in the business will understand that better. What my analogy means and everything.
Right. I think that for no matter what job you're in, right? You go in and you learn your job and you do your job well. If you have self-respect, you care about your work, you're going to go in and you're going to do your best. And it doesn't matter what job you have. There comes a point though where either your manager sucks and doesn't relate to you the right way, basically the way Coach Nick Saban says it, right? High output, high performance people don't like mediocre people, and mediocre people don't like high performance people. Okay.
Sure.
And eventually you get to that point where I can only do so much to help get the whole team over. I've got to start looking out for myself and I've got to put myself first. Is it,
Correct.
so I think that's something that everybody can relate to.
Yeah,
Um,
and that's the difference between when I was doing enhancement work on TV and then when I was working at independent show or somewhere around the world or whatnot.
yeah.
I was more worried about making sure I was getting myself over and looking like the star and
Right, because
everything.
you were the star, because
Right.
you were top or semifinal guy
Right.
every night and paid accordingly and had opponents that were at that level or close to, you know what I mean?
Right.
And
Yeah.
that was the expectation. We could hide the young guy, the underneath guy. We could hide them down here at the bottom, or we can stick them in the middle in the popcorn match. But when we get to the top of the card, there's expectations, and that's
Yeah.
where you were.
Yeah.
Okay, well, let me
Yeah.
ask you this: was it hard, or was it easy to switch your brain? I'm in me mode now. I'm not here to put somebody else over. I'm here to. This is my job now. This is what I have to do here.
It was easier to switch it off when I went and did enhancement work
Oh yeah,
because yeah, it's a piece of cake. I'm taking a couple bumps,
yeah.
and putting someone over, and depending who it is, I could take bumps and sell and just kind of just lay there and wait for them to come get me because they're the big guy and all that stuff, and that just eats the clock away. So
It's just you're just punching a time clock when you're doing
time
enhancement work.
management.
3
Time
minutes with
management.
Abby. I'll take one
Yeah.
bump outside. That'll be about 45 seconds.
Oh yeah, because I had that one completely figured out.
I love that story so much, the way you told it. That's amazing. Um,
Yeah.
okay, so now Ricky Steamboat, for example. Okay, Ricky Steamboat would be top 5 probably all-time wrestler. Let's just say round
Yeah.
numbers.
Right.
Top
Right.
5, but maybe top 50 overall.
Yeah, they're about probably. Yeah. That's
30 to
pretty
50.
close.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
his work was so great that it overcame a lot of communication limitations that he had.
Right.
I mean, it wasn't like he was coming out with a hump on his back and an eye,
Right.
like a,
Hey, I wonder. I have a thought. Do
yeah.
you think the people from back then don't get the same? I don't want to say respect because they're the same look because the production was not the outlet, the production, everything wasn't the same that it is now.
Hmm. So, just one example. So, if we shot promo stuff with Ricky Steamboat, let's say, and we would, catch the gleaming muscles and have the lighting treatment and the quick cuts and the edits, we'd make him look like more of a star than he is. Is that what you
Right.
mean? The way
Yeah, I
we're
mean,
able to produce and enhance and make everything look bigger and better?
and I think I think the outlet for like WWE is so much worldwide compared to back in
Yeah, true.
not only the territory days. I mean, he was in WWF, but it wasn't the same as it is now.
Yeah, I don't think people would realize that that was the same guy. That was the guy who was doing the fire breathing dragon thing. That might
Right.
be where it ended. Or they might have not even realized that he had a run there in 84.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Great one.
here's a good one. Um, that this I think is a great comparison. Steve, thank you so much. Magnum TA.
Oh yeah.
Magnum had
Oh,
everything
oh
except
lefty.
the except for the except for the ability to talk and drive.
That's what when
Absolutely.
I was doing TV with WCW, he was an agent for Dusty. And I don't know if all the guys did, but the group of guys I rode with always called him Lefty.
Because his right arm was in the gimmick.
Hey, Lefty, I was looking for you.
Damn.
Oh, okay.
Brutal. Um, yeah, would be in that regard. I've been going down a Tully Blanchard rabbit hole the last few days.
Oh wow.
What a promo. What an
Yeah.
absolute
Yeah.
underrated promo for my taste, from my point of view. You want to make it sound real, you want to make it sound believable, and I'm a sports fan, so I'm a sucker for coach speak. I'm a sucker for
Yeah.
anything that sounds like sports. I just love it.
Yeah.
And
I also believe that probably because he was in the faction with the Four Horsemen with Arn and Rick, two other great talkers, kind of over exactly overshadows him. If
yeah,
he was by himself, it might have made stood out a little bit more. I think. I
sure.
mean, even JJ could talk.
He
You
could.
know?
That's
Yeah.
that is such a great, because if you look back at JJ's stuff that he did in Florida, where he's telling the
Ah,
story of, the saddle
Saga of the
and
Family.
the family, the saga of the
Yeah.
family.
Yeah.
And man, he could rap, he could go.
Oh yeah.
Um and had
You ever see
different
that video where
tone.
he was out there with Dusty and Dusty started shooting the shot or Blackjack started shooting the shotgun? He was running. Oh man, that was some good stuff, wasn't it?
Amazing. That was amazing. See, people
Yeah.
forget that had again, if the business would have been just a little different, but JJ
Yeah.
followed Dusty,
Yeah.
and that was the thing. Like Dusty brought his guys with him.
Oh yeah.
That
Hogan gets so much heat for it, but Dusty did the same thing.
true.
Dusty had JJ, Barry. Mike Graham was always behind the scenes somewhere with Dusty.
Mm-hmm.
He plus all of his other guys he brought.
Right. Magnum was always figured in.
Yeah.
And, there were several other guys that just sort of fell by the wayside, come and go. But I think you're loyal to your boys.
Yeah.
But yeah, Hogan definitely got a bad rap because that was always, here come the Nasty Boys, and here's Brutus, and
yeah.
well, that's a
Greg
shock.
Valentine.
Greg Valentine, yeah. And then when you look at Tully, he became Tully. Hey, Tully Ron Garvin. There's a TV title match on for 86. It's on YouTube in full. It's the realest thing I think I've ever seen.
Yeah.
So Tully could talk.
Yeah.
Tully could get heat. And I'm comparing apples to oranges. Because I'm just saying, like, if Tully would have been there for a John Cena, right? Tully in his prime, Cena in his prime. Would John Cena have been a bigger star? Could.
I think that goes back to what I was saying with the whole, back then, the production was apples and oranges, but also the way they did wrestling. Now it's not about the way I think Vince is who started it. It wasn't about one particular person because he was losing all of his top guys. He made it about the whole entire, now it's the presentation of the WWE universe.
Right.
They don't really have to put a lot of names down. They can just say that, and people are going to expect all the glitz and glamour. Back then, you didn't have it. You're like looking at, Dusty's on it, Magnum's on it, Tully and Arn and all this. So I think it's hard to really compare them.
Because
to me,
the way that it could have been done, should have been done, would have been done at a different time, is that they would have constantly fed new heels to Cena. But everybody's under guaranteed contracts, so it becomes the circle. So we'll come back, so we'll do Edge and we'll blow off Edge, and then we'll come back around to Edge again. Chris Jericho, we're going to come back around to Chris Jericho in 26. Big Show, we're going to come, we came back around to him. Brock Lesnar, we came back around to him. Came back around to everybody, which is fine because that's the business.
Right. But if we reverse that, how would John Cena do in the territory days? Would he be a star or would he be overrated?
I think he had the personality to get over.
Yeah.
I think he definitely did. Do you think he had this? I mean, he obviously had the build, but would he have been tall enough?
Well, Tully wasn't that tall.
That's true.
I think John Cena's taller than Tully.
Is he taller than Flair?
Who, Cena?
Yeah.
Oh, man, that's pretty... Flair's what, 6'2"? 6'3"?
I mean, everybody starts out taller in the business than where they wind up because you slowly...
Austin's 6'2". Yeah.
Yeah. And Flair would comb his hair a certain way and look a little taller. They're probably
Have you ever talked to Flair? Ever talked to Flair in person?
A couple times.
I was talking to him once, and I've seen it a million times too. I was talking to him, and we're standing. He's a close talker, or at least he used to be. And while he's talking to you, he'll pull out his comb and start combing his hair like this close to you while he's talking to you. It's like, oh, let me back up a step here.
Our first conversation I had with Ric Flair was in the Buffalo airport. So I went over and introduced myself, and he actually knew who I was, so I was thrilled with that. And
Oh,
We
wow.
chit-chatted a few minutes, and I said, "So when are you coming back over to WWF? Come on, you've had enough of this Eric Bischoff craziness, haven't you?" He's like, "Well, I got a contract." It was very interesting. That was a lot of fun.
Wow.
And then I talked to him once in AEW and out there.
Well, I mean,
Anywho,
he probably didn't remember a lot of anything from back in the day then. Now, I mean, nowadays he's what, in his mid 70s,
well, yeah,
and
we were just talking about what was going on present day, present time. What were we, what were we going to be doing tonight, Rick? What are we doing out there? And it was, I don't know what he heard. He didn't hear that question.
oh, that's
Well,
funny.
so here's what I know about Cena from working with him in OVW. Um, Student of the business, loved everything about it. Would have thrived in the territory era.
Yeah.
Very durable. That again, safe, minimal exposure, like
Right.
you said, and that helps keep you upright longer.
'Cause he never had really any serious injuries, right? That had him down for a long time.
I can't think.
Have you noticed the trends that all the like top stars, mega stars, they're like that?
Hmm. Randy Orton
You
used
know,
to dislocate his shoulder every third week because he had it. It was
hmm,
just a weak point in his body, and I think he had it eventually sutured up, tightened up, so that it wouldn't be an issue. But then, kind of
yeah.
didn't test it as much as he might have when he was younger.
Yeah, you know why? Because that dislocated shoulders hurts like hell.
Did you dislocate your shoulders?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Both of
I
them? Just one of
dislocated
them?
my jaw once. Yeah, both of them. Yeah, it
Oh,
sucks. Hurts. Oh man.
tell me the
Ooh.
story
The
about how
worst
that
thing,
happened.
dislocating the shoulder.
Yeah. We'll get to
Uh,
the jaw in a minute because I want to hear that story. That's
um, I think it was just taking a bump. You know, I think I took a I'm trying to remember exactly. I know it was a face bump. I think it was. I know one of them was off of a big backdrop, and when they lifted me up, they kind of lifted me up to the side, pushed me to the side. So when
oh.
I landed on the shoulder only,
Mm,
and I was up there, and that happened to be Barry Windham that did that.
that son of a bitch.
Yeah, Jack was asking me what's about that blackjack was, and I said, yeah, it was Barry did it. He's like, oh man.
And so it
So
rolled forward out.
yeah, it went all it just went all out, and um, I tell you what, there was a Penn State wrestler, he was NCAA national champion. He was wrestling with Chase, down in South Florida,
Mm-hmm.
and his shoulder popped out. And
Yeesh.
he's like, just pull it, just pull. And I'm like, stop, you guys are gonna kill yourself. And he's like, he was waiting to get surgery, but it always would pop out. So I said, no, this is what you got to do. I'm going to pull. And as you pull, you push right under like the pec in the chest. And I popped it right in. And like, you can hear the pop. Like, you can't hear
Ooh.
this because the microphone, but you can hear it pop sort of like a baseball bat being hit, the ball being hit off a baseball bat, and it pops it right back in. He's like, "Oh my gosh, thank you." But I mean, the way they're doing, they're just yanking on the thing, and I'm like, "Oh, stop! That hurts. Just watching it hurts." So,
So how'd you get your jaw dislocated?
oh, that's real. When I was young in my career, I got through over the top rope, and I always would when they threw me, I would take the top rope and propel myself to even go higher. And I just happened to land where my foot hit I hit in my foot, elbow, and hand, and it just
Oh no.
and it popped it out. And the guy I was wrestling was kind enough to pop it back in for me.
Oh, that's
Oh, I
good.
was like, oh yeah. I was like, oh man, that hurt too. Not as bad as the shoulder though.
Okay. So
Yeah.
in terms of injury, shoulder dislocation worse than jaw.
Yeah.
What hurt worse than a shoulder dislocation?
I broke my wrists, both wrists in the match once.
In the same match?
Yeah,
Oh,
the same move.
oh my God, what happened?
I was young and I was wrestling at a bar and I looked up and I'm like, huh. The bar was kind of down into like the pit of the dance floor and I kind of
Mm-hmm.
went to the top rope and then went up to the next level and jumped off and um he decided that he wasn't liking it because he's not going to stay there and moved. And I put my hands down and, did snapped them both back. But it's
Oh.
just that when you get an injury like that, it's like someone turning on a fire hose. All when the pain comes, like, you turn on a garden hose, it just kind of starts off slow, but you turn on a fire hose, you pull that nozzle and it just shoots out. That's how the pain
Yeah.
is. It just comes all at once, like bam. It's like, oh, so I've broken my fingers, my nose a bunch of times, and all kinds of stuff.
Oof. So we gonna make an operation game? Here's where
That
Casey's shoulder, Casey's nose,
would be pretty funny though.
Casey's
All the
wrist.
things.
Yeah. Casey's neck would be fun. That would
Oh
be like
yeah,
that's the
trying to put my
treacherous
neck back
road.
together. My back, it follows all the way down to my back. The tailbone is bad too. Oh
Really?
man.
That's from
Oh
taking like leg drops and doing leg drops?
yeah, yeah. So I can't imagine how, like a Bobby Eaton that did that every single night on those hard ass rings.
He was made of
But
rubber.
yeah, something. But yeah, it's just like it's cartilage, so it chips away, and then
Yeah.
also it pops in, and you have to have it. Basically, a chiropractor goes in there and pulls it back out. And oh, mm, yeah, that's And I have one of my bad injuries that it it was just a constant like solid. This I had a rib head that would come out, so your rib would pop out of your
Oh,
vertebrae, and the chiropractor would pop it back in, and instantly you'd be like, "Oh!" I remember one time I didn't have time to go to the chiropractor. I was walking in like I was all hunched over, like I was 80 years old, and he's like, "Ah, your rib head is out." I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "Oh, come here." Here. I'm like, "Oh," he's like, "Oh," he said, "Yep, it went in," and instantly I walked out standing straight up again. But
jeez.
knock on wood, that rib head hasn't went out in a long time.
Okay.
It's yeah, it's brutal when it does.
Ooh. I never
I
heard
mean,
of
you can
that.
live with it. It feels like it feels like there's a knife stuck in between the tissues in your rib, the cartilage in your rib. Just someone's like just has like a knife just sticking it in and just keep on pushing.
No wonder why you took painkillers.
You know, they're fun too to take.
You kept there's a social
Besides the
aspect.
pain.
Right.
Yeah.
So I had the
They did
pleasure.
make me much more sociable, though. I was much more friendlier when I took pain pills
It
than I
lessens the
didn't.
social anxiety, right? When
Yes,
you so when you look at it,
makes a
okay,
friendly Casey come out.
Casey, angry Casey comes out later. Um, all right, so I think we can agree that John Cena is an all-time great, but he is not in the top 4 all time. With probably Bruno being number 5, let's just say. But if we're talking modern era, it's any combination of Hogan, Austin, Rock, Flair. Correct?
Do you think? Oh yeah, I totally agree with that. Do you think Undertaker would be bigger than Cena? I don't.
No,
Hmm.
I don't.
Yeah, I think Cena is a lot bigger.
Yeah,
I think because he did a lot more stuff all the way around the
true.
business.
Yes.
Yeah.
He was bigger than he's bigger than Shawn Michaels.
Yeah.
Just trying to think. Bigger than Bret Hart.
I think he is probably, but Brett was bigger in his own mind, probably.
Well, and I think Bret was bigger in Canada and in
Oh yeah,
Europe.
yeah, right,
He was mega hot in Canada and Europe,
right,
and was loved and respected in the United States.
right,
Capital L loved in Canada and Europe, small L.
right. But what happens is when you're over that big in places like that, you think it's everywhere.
Right.
So, and definitely Brett thought he was that way everywhere, and he wasn't.
Yeah. That's what Vince was the ultimate arbiter in that.
Yeah,
And that Vince would allow you to think to a certain extent you're the best, you're the greatest, you're this, you're that. But then when it came time for money or when it came time for, okay, this is the time for the ultimate push. I'm sorry, you're not the guy.
right,
And it's interesting how Vince makes his decisions, who he
right,
chose
yeah,
and who he didn't choose. He chose Cena. But of course, the famous story, Cena was going nowhere. He was the prototype in OVW and just great wrestler. Fantastic look, fantastic promo, and then
right.
gets called up to the main roster just because he looked so awesome and he was so great. What do we do with him? We don't know. And he just wasn't impressing anybody. Then he sits on the plane and he's freestyle rapping with Stephanie, and the light went on. Ding. And that's how it all got started.
Man, he must owe it all to her. Like he
Yeah.
must think of her like as everything.
Saved her career. Saved his career. I'll tell you the flip
Yeah,
side. So there's a guy named Steve Bradley that a lot of fans may not know. And we lost Steve in 2008. 2008? 2004? I forget the year now. I know it was December 8th, 2004. That's it. And he was similarly thought of with Cena. Everybody thought he was fantastic. Everybody that worked with him thought he was amazing. Kurt Angle's first opponent. Kurt
yeah,
loved him, raved about him, said I would do anything with him. I'll work with him every night. Told everybody. And I talked with Stephanie about, because I was working with the Memphis guys, and she's like, what is it about Steve Bradley? I just don't get it. I'm like, well, he's a lifer. He's an old veteran, young veteran, grew up wanting to be a wrestler. And she's like, is there anything else? I'm like, no,
oh wow.
that was it.
Hey.
You know, did they ask
You
John
you
Cena
know, you
those
just brought up
questions?
Kurt
No, but
Angle.
yeah.
Yeah, you just brought up Kurt Angle. You think Kurt Angle would be bigger on that list if he would have stayed in WWE longer? I know
Yes.
why he left because of all the drugs and all stuff like that, and he had to clean up or he would have died and all that. He says all that. But if he was inside that machine longer, you think he would have been higher on that list? Because he was great. I mean, all the way around.
No, I completely agree. Um, I think if Kurt would have stayed, if he would have gotten cleaned up, get away from the ring, maybe segue into commentary, maybe have a role, something like that, stay involved, he could have done anything he wanted. But
Wow.
he left because he wanted to continue to wrestle and to prove everybody wrong, and he did awesome in TNA.
Yeah.
He was fantastic, but that's like going into witness protection, man.
Yeah, it's just no one watched it.
Yeah. And this is when everybody watched it. No one still
Right.
knew anybody.
Now,
Yeah, that's
did you like Kurt Angle, the serious Olympic gold medalist, or did you like the funny Kurt Angle? I like the funny Kurt Angle.
funny. Kurt Angle was great.
Yeah, it was.
The bits
That's
with
some good stuff. That's good
Edge
TV.
and Christian that we did
Yeah.
on Heat. Oh my God! Hey, my chicken suit. It's just little stuff. Yeah, all those little lines. Um, Brilliant and loved it. Yes.
Yeah.
But then you turned it on when it was time to wrestle
Yeah.
because you could heat him up instantly. You could do one thing and he snaps and puts the ankle lock on dudes, and you know, then okay, serious business, and Olympic slam, and then
See, I think he falls in that category. Like you have Hogan, Rock, Stone Cold, Flair, John Cena, but then you have another list of great guys, but it's a different kind of list. But like you have Eddie Guerrero,
mm,
you have Kurt Angle, Chris Benoit, guys like that in that list, that are just, they're great, but they're not. They don't fall in the other list. They're in that subcategory that they're great. It's just a little different. You know what I'm saying? If it makes
and
any
then
sense.
the older version of that subcategory would be like a Sting and a Barry Windham, right?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we could put them in that group. Barry was probably the best worker of them all. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, I think Barry's probably. I I think he in his prime. I think he was probably one of the best of all time.
Yeah.
In the ring, he was definitely the most underrated of all time. But I think he was right up there. I seen matches with him and Flair, hour long, just were incredible.
Mm-hmm.
And he was
It
big, 6'7",
right.
just a big guy. It was just really, really great stuff.
I would have loved to have seen the house show matches with the Midnight Express against Barry and Ronnie Garvin. They would have been amazing.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Would have loved to just see house show matches with Barry because he's going to do different things. You were never going to get the
I
same
saw
match.
I saw a house show match that's on YouTube. It was Barry versus the Big Boss Man. He was Bubba.
Okay.
I think it's Mid South or Mid Atlantic or something like that. It's an outside show too. It was a good match. I mean, just watching it's like, wow, you know, this is good stuff. Bubba was always good too, though.
Just a
He was
natural.
light as a feather. Light as a feather.
Really.
That was always a bonus when you had to work him. Like, oh, I got Bubba tonight. They're like, oh man, that sucks. Because you knew it's like he's not going to even touch you. It's just like dink dink. This looks
That's
vicious,
awesome.
but you don't feel it.
Oh
I
yeah.
remember one time I worked. It was actually myself, Cliff, my partner Cliff Anderson, Joe Gomez, and the Renegade. The four of us did 8-mans against the Dungeon of Doom, which we did four matches in one day, one taping, one day, because they're trying to get Kevin Sullivan some TV time.
Mm-hmm.
But Kevin, they would send us out there, and Kevin didn't show up because he was in a meeting or something. So they're like, "Oh, we'll do it again at the end of the next taping." Well, we'll do it again. I think Kevin finally got in, and that's when Jimmy Hart's Dungeon of Doom. They had Faces of Fear, Haku and Barbarian. Hugh Morse was there. Big Bubba was there. Sarge was the leprechaun, would run around the ring, and that's when he forearmed me in my back, and somehow I ended up with a goose egg, a black eye.
Because
And
your
then he
eyeball
forearmed me
shot
in my
forward.
back. No, I was leaning against the ring apron, like selling. He was running
Oh.
across the ring, and I'm like, fuck. Yeah. So I remember yeah, it was like Hugh Morris used to come into the corner, which is Bill DeMott, if people
Right.
don't know. He'd come into the corner and I'm like, you better not come in here squash. He'd come in and just like that double, you know, I don't know what the fuck it's double smack, the
Then double
squash.
squisher, yeah, the
Double
squish.
yeah. And I'm like, dude, don't you come at me like that. No, I said, you come at me at the last second, I'm gonna stick my knee up, I'm gonna hit you in your nuts. He's like, no, so you do it. He threw me in the corner, he started, and I put my knee up, and he just stopped and walked over and took me out and did something else to me. I remember once he went to do it, he put me down to take his um a moonsault, and I was looking, I'm like, oh shit, he's not gonna reach me. And he's going in the air. I do a roll and land. I move closer to the ring to catch him because he was not going to reach me. I was too far out.
He would have kicked you with his feet, probably, right? Or would he completely have landed short?
No, he would have missed me completely.
Oh
I
my
was too far
God.
out. He just placed me. I just sold it and rolled over and caught him and everything. And then I was working Barb and Barbarian and Ming Haku, and Haku was like, "Oh, brother, gonna tag you, and you come in hot tag." I'm like, he's like, "No, no, come in, you come in, all fire, you go all kinds of fire, bing, boom, 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 you know, just keep on hitting, boom, 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 a lot of fire, a lot of fire." And I'm like, and what are you gonna do? Just stand there? No, no, I sell. I sell. I said, you don't sell for anybody. Don't give me that shit. This is what we're all talking about. And everyone's looking like, what is he telling us to him? But I knew I wrestled him so many times. So I did. I came in, hot tag, came in, ba boom, hit Barb. And he looked at me and I'm there hitting Haku, punch, kick, chop, chop, everything. And finally he's like, and cuts me off. And, so
Damn it.
so
That close, you
yeah.
almost had him.
Yeah, he shot me once so hard in the chest that something popped in my throat and literally squirted going up. I'm like, oh,
Ugh.
it shot me so hard, something popped.
Oh, I never heard of that
Yeah.
before.
Oh yeah. Remember that gum they used to have that you would chew it, and then it always had like a gel or something in the
It was
middle,
like Gatorade
and you
gum or
chew it,
something?
and no, it's I forget what's the name of it. It's an old gum from back in
I
when
think
we were
yeah.
kids. Your
Yeah.
parents would chew it, and you chew it, and the stuff gushes out. That's what it felt like. I'm like, all of a sudden you chew it, and you're like,
Ooh.
oh,
It's probably your
but
liver bile
it,
kicking up.
yeah, exactly. It is what it is. So
It is what it is.
yeah, it's wrestling.
I know. All right, so I'm putting Tully. A Tully John Cena program would have been awesome.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Barry Windham as a heel against John Cena would have been great.
Yeah, that would
Boss
be.
Man. You feed these heels to Cena. Boss Man would have. I'm just thinking of some of the names that you've mentioned.
How about Nikita Koloff and
Oh, what about Nikita?
Yeah.
Damn. Nikita Koloff, John Cena would have been freaking awesome.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that'd have been good.
Because they tried like with the other foreigners, right? They tried with that Vladimir Kozlov, and it just didn't work. It didn't connect. They tried with Miro, and yeah, it did. It got over. Rusev Day got over when, he sort of fought his way over on his own.
Right.
And he's fantastic talent, don't get me wrong. But Nikita Koloff?
Oh yeah.
That would have been
damn.
That's
Ivan.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ivan in the promo, Ivan in the corner, Ivan with the chain, getting the heat. Eventually he loved the top rope bump.
Yep. Take a couple quick bumps and back at, yeah.
Cena with the chain he gunks Uncle Ivan. Nikita gets him from behind. Nikita winds up the chain. Russian sickle. By this time, the referee comes to cover 1, 2, 3. Fuck. That would have been awesome. All right.
Yeah, one day with AI now, they're going to be able to recreate all that kind of stuff.
That's what I was just going to say.
Oh,
AI needs to make us a Nikita
yeah.
Koloff versus John Cena match.
Oh man. Wow.
That's it, Casey.
Yeah.
Ding ding. But I
Yeah.
think if you would have so and yeah, it's playing on some different themes. But the theme I got from Edge is that he was, sleazy and, a reprobate and envious and had this massive ego and all of these different things. Every opponent was different. So interesting.
Yeah.
Cena Edge matches were great though.
Yeah, they were.
God, they were great. Um
It's funny how everyone was speculating what his last match would be. Someone coming back, Chris Jericho, or Edge coming back for that, and this
right.
and that, and if they just use one of their guys to elevate him,
Yeah.
which is
It was
smart
yeah.
business.
I mean, they could have done the great hat tip, you know what I mean? Like, they could have done every great name that's worked with them in the past come out and tip the cap or whatever.
Yeah, it would have been interesting to been in the production to figure out lay out how they're going to do all that.
Mhm. Because it was good, but I'm just wondering, is this a conversation that people have about the final episode of their favorite TV show?
Yeah.
I hated it. I loved it. Oh my God, it was the worst thing ever. Oh, it made me cry. It's never going to be pleasing to everybody.
And
And
mostly it's always like, that ended. That was horrible the way it ended. I
right,
hate the show now because of it.
should we have done the whole last year? I think aside
It
from
made for a
the
good quarter in the earnings. Yeah.
well, aside from the whole Travis Scott fiasco, which was Rock
Oh
dragging
yeah.
him in, aside from that sordid chapter, I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I liked when he got
I mean, his heel
eliminated from
turn
the
didn't
Royal
turn out
Rumble.
very well, but
Huh?
his heel turn didn't turn out very well.
No.
But I mean, that's almost predictable.
Match with
I
Cody
think
was
that's
a
probably something he
stinker.
wanted to do.
Yeah. There was some, but again, Dominic Mysterio was very good. I think he just started to really catch fire at the end. I think when it's all said and done, he probably got it all out of his system. Question I have for you: how long until he's back?
Yeah.
And I don't mean
Yeah.
wrestling. Does he come out Monday and say goodbye? Do we get the promo?
Oh man, that's. I bet they're banking on that to get really good ratings and viewership off of it.
Mm-hmm. That's
Man, that
probably it.
would yeah, that's a really good question.
I could
Yeah.
see it. I could see it. So Sunday night, 9:06 Eastern time, we'll we'll make the prediction that John Cena comes out on Raw. We'll also say
Yeah.
that Nikita versus John Cena needs to be created on AI. Um, Cena
That'd be
is
fun.
great, but he's not the Mount Rushmore great.
Right.
And without John Cena, WWE's business would have been really in the dumper post
Oh
Rock
yeah.
and Austin.
Do you think he's going to be on the payroll still?
Oh, that's a good question. Um, will they keep him under contract? I would say yes.
Yeah, I would
And
too. Not that I don't think he would go somewhere else and do something for the right money, because I think
right.
he's probably okay in that, but I think they want to protect their interests. It's worth paying him a million a year or five hundred
Yeah.
thousand a year just to make it where he can't go anywhere.
Let's just make it to where if we want you, we can get you.
Yeah,
If there's something that they need him for, not a match, but a promo. Maybe
yeah,
he's going to officiate the contract signing for the WrestleMania main event. You know, something.
I would like to
And
see him against my favorite. You say his name and he appears.
oh no, Joe Hendry?
Yeah.
You're on that hype train, and I think it's left the station, Casey. I don't know.
Oh man, I'm gonna bring it back. You wait and see.
It comes around, comes around again.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
I'm
like
gonna
Joe
be his
Hendry.
favorite person.
You will love, yes. Joe Hendry is a nice guy. What a sweetheart of a guy. There is okay, so there's an under the radar name which I want to give a shout out to. He got an appearance on Ring of Honor. He is, I think, a fantastic wrestler. He's from the UK. He's a great guy, great promo, looks fantastic. Named Nathan Cruz, and he was on Ring of Honor this week. And I just want to give him a little shout out for making it across and getting to be on Ring of Honor, and hope he gets more opportunities. He's a fantastic guy, Casey, great talent. You would have loved him.
Oh, nice.
You'd have booked him on everything.
Did he wrestle in New Japan?
No, he did not.
Oh, really?
No, he did not. So my friend John Schuyler met Nathan Cruz when Schuyler went over to do the Brian Dixon camps. And so they became friends. They stayed buddies. And when John and I were booking PWX in Charlotte, we brought Nathan over. He was coming over for vacation anyway, so we put him on show, and just a super cool, talented guy. And when I was in England for Rev Pro, there was a big wrestle convention type of thing. So a bunch of different companies were there, and the company that Nathan Cruz worked was from the north, and Rev Pro from the south. So they, the two companies were putting on different shows at different times. So I got to hang out with Nathan Cruz there. He just looked great in a suit, walking around. This is what pro wrestling looks like, and the rest of us all look like slobs.
I'll have to check him out.
Yeah, good dude. All right, so next week, the countdown to Christmas is on.
Oh wow, it's going by so fast,
Yeah, and
have you did all your Christmas shopping yet?
Not yet. Close.
Oh,
very close. And we'll do Christmas gifts next week, and because I got Casey's gift, but I haven't opened it yet because I told him I want to do a special thing, and yours will be arriving in the next few days. I mean, where are you going to put the giant, the giant poster size of me doing the Doc Hendricks, Michael Hayes pose?
I have a little space in my room.
There you go. The George Costanza boudoir picture. So we'll do that.
Nice.
And we'll give our thoughts on the current product. But hey, tip of the cap to John Cena, though, right? Job well done. Hell of a career.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. He gave everyone everything plus a little more,
Absolutely. And I think just the outpouring of love from his peers is bona fide, justified. Yeah. The guys that worked with him early in UPW in California, the Frankie Kazarian, Christopher Daniels, those guys, again, loved him. Cena loved working with them, loved all the people in OVW. Everybody loved Cena there. And all the way up through the ranks of WWE throughout the years, production people, new people's
just
names.
Liked all the way around. Yeah.
Yeah.
How long till he's inducted into the Hall of Fame?
So you can't be on the active roster, so says the rules, but there isn't like a waiting period. So I would say next year.
Ooh. Saudi Arabia?
Yeah.
Would he go there for that, I wonder?
Yeah, of course he would.
Oh, wow. That would be interesting. If they're going to have a Hall of Fame over there, which they haven't said they are not, we only assume, but that would be a big headliner, I think.
I think they definitely would want that. That would be
John Cena, Kevin Kelly could be in that class.
Oh, sure.
There we go.
Yeah, that's gonna happen. I would just try to wind Cena up and try to put like the turban on his head all day and have him come out like with the Sheik, the original Sheik with the pencil
He
and
might
the
be able
fork.
to turn heel over there.
That would be awesome. Throw fire in my
I
face.
may never see him again, but hey.
That's true. So all right, so that will do it for this John Cena tribute edition, which of course goes in all of these different directions because I always have so many different questions for Casey. But again, your thoughts always welcome. Social media, where you see us, chime in with your thoughts. If it's YouTube, if it's Facebook, if it's X, if it's TikTok, Instagram, doesn't matter. Share your thoughts, share the feed, spread the word, spread the love, tell everybody you know about the In Ring Wrestling Podcast. Casey, any final thoughts?
Countdown to Christmas. Let's go.
Countdown to Christmas is on, and we will see each and every one of you right back here next week live, Sunday night, 8 p.m. Eastern on the In Ring Wrestling Podcast. For Casey Thompson, I'm Kevin Kelly, and we will see you next time.